Wait, are we recording?
Dude, we've been recording for 50 seconds.
50 seconds? We're halfway through this podcast already. All right. Welcome back. I have no energy to be doing this intro today, Thomas. I apologize. Welcome back to Brothers on Air. Thomas, what are we drinking? Look at that. There's a sip. You know I gotta ask.
Always. Oh, I had the thing. Ready? Here it is.
Oh, let's see.
It's gonna be backwards.
Thomas, please, you gotta blur that. That looks frontwards to me, but...
Yeah, on the recording it's not gonna be.
I'm just drinking the first liquid Earth ever created, which is water.
Dihydrogen monoxide? Dude, you better watch out. Dude, you got bold and brash on there, dude.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, this?
Yeah, it's bold and brash.
Yeah.
More like belongs in the trash, am I right?
Has straws on there. Represent. Yeah. All right.
Isaac, what are we talking about today?
We're coming to the end, Thomas.
Dude,
we are on the last.
It is the end.
Of 6.
Yup.
6 of 6.
Yup.
LOTR, Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth adventure.
Yup.
As Bilbo would say, this was quite an adventure.
It really was.
To be honest. We watched Return of the King, ladies and gentlemen. As you should know, if you can do math from the first thing of The Hobbit, just add 1 every time. And so now we're at Return of the King. 3rd installment of this trilogy. The last one made in 2003?
Released in 2003.
Released in 2003. Jinx. Yumi's soda. But yeah, let's do a little synopsis.
Really quick though.
Of this.
We watched the extended edition.
Oh, we did.
Which is on HBO Max. If you want to watch it, it is very long. It is 4 hours and 20 minutes. 4:20. Yeah, we're gonna be talking a little bit about extended edition. Adds about an hour of content. If you've seen the movies before, I would recommend watching them. If you haven't, then it doesn't add that much new stuff. But if you're a fan and you've seen it, then definitely check it out because it's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, can you give us a quick synapse? Just give us a quick one, because it's a long movie. We have a lot to talk about, so. Let me hear it, Isaac.
Oh my goodness. All right. Wait, I don't even know which one is good here. A very short one or a decently short one?
I don't know.
I'm just going to read this one. Sauron's forces have laid siege to Minas Tirith, the capital of Gondor, in their efforts to eliminate the race of men. The once great kingdom watched over by the fading steward has never been in more desperate need of a king. But can Aragorn answer the call of his heritage and become what he was born to be? In no small measure, the fate of Middle-earth rests on his broad shoulders. With the final battle joined in the Legion of Darkness gathering, Gandalf urgently tries to rally Gondor's broken army to action. He is aided by Rohan's king Theoden, who unites his warriors for history's biggest test. Yet even with their courage and passionate loyalty, the forces of men, with Eowyn and Merry hidden amongst them, are no match for the enemies swarming against Gondor. I got a couple sentences left. Still, in the face of these great losses, they charge forward into the battle of their lifetimes. Tied together by their singular goal to keep Sauron distracted and give the ring bearer a chance to complete his quest. Their hopes rest with Frodo, a tiny but determined hobbit, as we all know.
Oh, yes.
Making a perilous trip across treacherous enemy lands and cast the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom. The closer Frodo gets to his destination, the heavier his burden becomes, and the more he must rely on Samwise Gamgee. Gollum and the Ring will test Frodo's allegiances and, ultimately, his humanity.
Well, he's not a human, so I don't understand why humanity's in there. Wouldn't it be like Hobbit-anity or something? I don't know.
He's human-like.
Alright, we'll give him that.
Yeah. Well, let's just get right into it. I feel like Nick doing that from New Girl. He just goes like... Yeah, his little back sweat walk away. All right. Right into it, Thomas. I kind of forget where we begin with this. You want
me to tell you where we begin, Isaac? I will tell you.
Oh,
let me freaking tell you, Isaac.
Hold on. Do
What?
you have a quick fact or anything you want to give? Because I know you're the fact man.
Do you want me to give one? I have it up.
I don't know. Yeah, just throw me. Just hit us early with one.
All right, a little bit of trivia. All right, scroll. This is what I'm landing on. Wow, that's kind of lame.
Oh,
The 3 movies were filmed simultaneously. We already knew that. All right, one more.
that was lame, dude. Jeez,
All right.
Flamo.
All right, one really quick one since I got a better one here. Peter Jackson purposely avoided filming Frodo's left hand after the Mordor scenes to avoid conflicts as to positioning the wound on the index finger. It is only seen twice. When the Fellowship is reunited, the hand is bandaged. And when Frodo is writing his final pages in the Red Book, before he turns back to add the title. Yep.
I don't actually know that.
Yeah, neither did I.
That's cool. All right.
Also, this is the first fantasy movie to win an Academy Award for Best Picture. All right.
This won Best Picture?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Really quick, this movie won 11 of the 11 nominations. And it has tied the record for most Oscars won by any movie with Ben-Hur from 1959 and Titanic.
Titanic. Pretty baller.
Kind of sad that I have to like specify which Ben-Hur because the newest one was just absolutely terrible.
Yeah. All right, let's hop into the intro, Thomas.
Let's hop in.
Always kind of a good start to these movies. You know,
great,
really
great
good
intros.
Little entryway into the movie. So let's talk about this one. What do we? It's Schmiegel fishing, right?
Yep.
Our little intro is just Schmiegel finding the One Ring.
Yep.
His little story of becoming Gollum.
Yep.
Really, his voice, I don't get. I hate his like human voice.
Why? He sounds like the same.
Weird. No, it doesn't. It's like not raspy enough, so it's just like.
Well, yeah.
Let me say it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right.
I don't like it.
It's crazy. Like, okay, so like they're fishing, blah blah blah. He dives down, finds his like friend or whatever, finds the ring. It's Smeagol's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you should give it to me," blah blah. And they like immediately start fighting. Like right away, both of them are like corrupted by the ring, like so quickly. Like they both already like right off the bat. It wasn't even just like pushing back and forth. Like, no, you give it. No, you. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, Smeagol swatted at it and he moved, and then they just went at it really hard. But yeah, it was kind of
it's kind of crazy how how it corrupted like both of them like so quickly.
Yeah, they're weak.
One thing I wrote down about the scene though is like, where are they?
Doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? I don't know. The scenery around it, I was like, the whole time I was just like, where are these dudes?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're Hobbit-like, so probably like.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know.
So I assume they're kind of around that general same area. They're kind of small creatures. They're not hobbits though. I'm pretty sure.
I think they are.
No.
Pretty sure.
Nope. He's not a hobbit, Thomas. He's a hobbit-like.
Gollum, a hobbit. He was a Stour hobbit of the river folk.
Yeah, exactly.
Who lived in the Gladden fields. So he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Not our hobbits that we know and love.
He's not a hobbit from the Shire, but like he's still a hobbit. Just like the wood elves and the river elves.
Let's just agree that you're wrong. No, I'm right. All right, so moving on. Wait. Oh, yeah.
We're still talking Smeagol. So he finds the ring. He kills his friend. And I forgot how gross he got so quick.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He got like real gross.
Yeah. He also gets like, I don't even know. I don't get like so many people held the ring and like didn't get like him. What the heck? It's like weird.
Yeah, but he had it for like 300 years.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know the timeline of him turning into what he is now. But
I don't know either, but I know he lived for I think it was actually like 280 something, but still like I'm pretty sure like Isildur didn't have it that long. It seemed like he had it for like a week.
No, yeah. The scene where like he has like those really deep bags.
Or Isildur, not Isildur.
Yeah, when he's like kind of human and like kind of turned into Gollum and he's walking into the cave.
Oh, his eyes?
Like a dead on shot.
Oh my god, it's so gross. Yeah, I forgot how gross that whole opening scene was.
But Gollum looks just like Gollum himself looks so much better in this movie.
Yeah.
Like he looks so clean. Also, just like I don't know if it's just like it was like redone up, but the HBO version I was watching looks so good.
Yeah.
Like everything just like looked crispy.
Yeah. I think the third one looks
It's a
the
little blur.
crispiest.
I mean, yeah, it does just like generally because it's a couple years later, so they could just like crisp it
Yeah.
up.
They had some
But,
time to work on it.
but yeah.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean,
That's about all I have on the intro, honestly.
yeah.
Good intro.
Oh, I was talking about. I don't even know. There's some interaction with Frodo and Bilbo and Sam and stuff that I don't really care about talking about.
There was?
It was like an extended cut, kind of, where like Sam initially attacks Gollum, being all upset at him, and then Frodo was like, "Stupid!" when they were sleeping, I think. Do you not remember this scene, Thomas?
No. When they're on the stairs?
No. This is like
What are you
literally
talking about?
Gollum's like talking to himself in the water about taking the ring when they're dead, and then Sam hears them
Yeah.
and
Oh,
attacks
yeah.
him. Yeah, that. I'm just saying. I
Oh,
have
and
a
then like
note
Frodo like
that,
passes out. Wasn't that the last
does he
movie?
pass it? What?
Was that this movie?
No, that was just this movie.
Was it?
Yes. Thomas.
Okay, I don't remember.
My
What are you
goodness,
talking
man.
about?
I was just saying that we should skip it because I don't really. There's nothing to say about that.
Oh, okay.
They kind of just like added. They added. You know what? I have a problem about this movie. I'll just say this: the extended cut is almost so useless.
I don't know about that. I think
Almost
some of it
useless.
was good, some of it was useless. Yes.
The first half of the movie, the extendeds that like were in there, I just could have done without. Literally, like the only time that I actually liked, except for Saruman.
Okay, I was gonna say that.
That was kind of cool.
That's what I was gonna say.
But like that was also just like really long and dragged on for no reason.
A little bit.
Like he kind of started looping, but like towards the end, I was like, okay, cool. These like other extended ones are a little cooler, but some of them again, I'm like, you really don't need them. Like I understand why a lot of them, especially towards the end, they took them out, like with the mouth of Sauron and like when they're in Mordor and stuff. Those scenes. Like,
Yeah.
you really don't need that to progress like the plot at all, and it was just like
Was there
5 whole minutes.
Was there really a scene between the intro of Gollum and stuff and then like going to like Treebeard? Because I didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay. Maybe I just didn't write it down
It was
then.
Sam and Frodo scene. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said like I don't know. You just kind of get like a little hint that like Sam is still hating Gollum and like.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
He
the
doesn't
first
trust
little
him at
tear
all.
in Frodo and Sam
Yeah.
like friendship. But yeah. But I wrote down get to Sauron then, because then you go to
Yeah.
T-Beard and all them pull up on Isengard.
Yeah.
First of all, it's kind of like obnoxious. Those two, the Merry and Pippin, are just kind of like drunk there when they show up. We're just like, bruh, come on. They just like won, and they're like,
dude, they're enjoying the spoils of war, dude. You know what I
my
mean?
goodness, they won like one battle, literally sitting on top of a living tree, throwing pebbles at people, and then there's like, hey, we
we
took
did
this place
everything,
and-
dude. All right.
When there was like no army there because they all got sent out
Yeah.
and got murdered by like the people who walked up and actually like were fighting.
Yeah.
But
I like
Yeah,
how in
it's
this
just-
scene, Treebeard calls Gandalf young.
oh yeah.
And Gandalf's like 300 years old.
Yeah.
He's
Going
like,
to-
young Master Gandalf.
Dude, yeah, oh, I just remember this. Treebeard looked really bad, up against his background. The background looked really rough for some reason.
Don't remember.
It was like
maybe,
weird.
but-
I remember watching that. I was like, the background looks very like fake,
Really?
and it was like, is the building, yeah. But and then you see Saruman, a little
Yeah.
extended cut version.
Yeah, I liked how in this scene, Saruman calls Rohan a barn.
Does he?
Yeah, because it's literally just a barn. It's just like
Yeah.
a barn on top of
He-
a hill. That's hilarious.
A note that I made was like, Sauron says keys. He's talking about like keys. I don't even know what, like keys of something, and I can't remember it, but I wrote down what are keys of Sauron talks of, but I don't remember the
remember.
keys. So whatever, let's just get past that.
Dude, the death
He's
for this
like-
dude though,
Yeah,
bro. What the heck?
brutal.
Okay, so had you seen the extended version of this movie?
Not fully. I saw clips of it.
I-
Like, I've never seen it together.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. I did not expect him. Like, I saw an interview before I watched this movie of him talking about like being stabbed to death
Yeah,
and what it like sounds like.
yeah.
Because like Peter Jackson wanted him to
Oh,
like
yeah.
scream And
I've seen that, yeah.
yeah, and what's his name?
I
What
don't
the
know
heck's
his
his
name.
name? Are you serious right now? How do I not remember this?
Doesn't really
Wait.
matter.
Yes, it does. If I don't remember his
Oh
name,
my
I'm gonna
goodness.
be big sad.
Michael Bublé,
No, what the heck? Isn't it Christopher
Christopher Lee.
Lee? Christopher
Yeah.
Lee was like, "Hey, no, that's not actually what you sound like when you're like getting stabbed, like in the back." And
Yeah.
Peter Jackson was like, "Well, he did serve in World War II, so I'm sure he does
Yeah.
actually know what it sounds like." So anyway, so like
Yeah.
I heard about that, so I was like, "Oh, like okay, like he got stabbed." I didn't realize he fell from like freaking 100 stories and gets
Yeah.
impaled on a freaking spike.
Yeah.
Oh my
That was kinda wild.
gosh.
I've seen that. That was pretty wild. I don't get why Legolas shoots like Grimworm or whatever his name is. The guy stabs him. Like, what the heck?
I don't really know.
Like, why just blast him? There's like no reason for it.
I mean, it was
But
kind of
also, like,
satisfying, not gonna lie.
I was just like, oh, he kind of like turned good right at the end. Like, he realized that like Sauron is kind of like been corrupting him, and then or Sauron has been corrupting him, and all of a sudden he's dead. You did a good thing, dead. But
Yeah.
when Saruman was up there, he was like talking down at like all the people and kind of like cutting into them. Bro, what he was saying about Gandalf was kind of true.
What was he saying? I don't remember.
He was like, you start all these like quests with all these people, then you just abandon them and leave them to die. And I'm like, straight up, he started like 2 quests and just leaves them multiple times.
I feel like we've mentioned this
like
like 6 times. It's so true.
He's like, you guys got it. And I'm like, honestly, Saruman's making sense to me right
It's
now.
kind of true.
Like, he's spitting facts up there.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then, I mean, so that kind of happens, and then you find the little orb thing.
Yeah,
Which,
I have to say that the editing in and out of the extended cut was so bad.
What parts are you talking about?
Like so if you've seen the normal movie and then you see the extended cut movie, you kind of remembered where they like picked up, because like in the normal theatrical release, I think they just walk up, see the 2 hobbits, talk for like a minute, and then the next scene is them walking on the horseback and looking down.
Yeah.
And they grab the orb. And just the transition, I'm pretty sure it's something like that. But I
swear they talked to Greybeard for a second, but yeah, like
they might have.
Yeah.
But like the transition between the extended cut and the theatrical cut, it's just like super rough. I just wrote that down. It was a little sloppy.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. And then, I mean, that freaking idiot Pippin grabs the orb. Actually, no, the idiot part comes later.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wrote things down. We'll get there when we get there.
That annoys me, boo.
And
then they go to. Is the next scene when they like?
They're in
the party.
Yeah, they're in Rohan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, has Legolas like never drank anything ever before?
I don't think he drinks
so weird.
alcohol. I just hate I did
that extended scene sucked. Like, I wrote that down. This extended scene of the hobbits dancing was super weird.
I'm not like the whole drinking game. Like this, first of all, the extended cut of this made their whole time at this like Rohan thing way too long.
Yeah.
It was like 5-8 minutes.
Yeah.
Of here. Like, dude, let's move on.
Yep.
But like this drinking game between Legolas and Gimli was just like the most it got out of me was like, Well, it was just like the most cookie cutter.
It was
thing.
Yeah. It was just what do you say? Like just wind out of your nose or whatever you say.
Yeah. It was literally like, oh look, a dwarf is chugging beer, and then Legolas is like, oh, and then they get deeper. They get like further in, and Legolas is like, fine, the stoic elf. And Gimli's like slurring over his words, and then he goes cross-eyed and falls over. I literally could have called that like as their drinking game started.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my goodness, bro.
Yep.
Like I understand now, and if I was watching the theatrical version, I would be glad that they cut that out because that is just so needless.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't even really like do that much character development either, because like you can say it builds like the relationship between them, but like we already know that the relationship is fine. Like, it's strong.
Yeah.
And it was like put in place in the last movie. But yeah, it was just like a funny scene that they realized it wasn't really needed that much.
Yep. But I don't know why I wrote this down next. I don't know if it cut to the hobbits again or something. But Smeagol was 589 years old when he died. And
Jeez.
I just wrote it was interesting how the ring twisted his mind and body. Such an interesting yet disturbing character.
Oh, by the way, I have those scenes messed up.
Which ones?
The one that I said earlier comes after the intro. That one is happening now.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
And
Yeah.
the intro one, I think, is just Frodo and Sam like waking up, and Frodo is like weak, and then Sam offers him like lammas bread, and he's like, "You have to eat something," and it's just like a small little thing.
Okay.
And then, this now is why I wrote it. It was like the first face, and it's kind of the first like a kind of hint, being like, "Oh, we need some for like the way home."
Right.
And you kind of like get a pan of like Frodo's face, and it's like, oh, he knows that like they're not gonna like have a way home.
Yes, this was the first time he said that, right? Because this was the first time it was even mentioned. Why is Frodo this whole movie, and Sam only accepts it like super late, like when they're like dressed as orcs, like that's how late he accepts it. But like, why Frodo is like so adamant about like dying right now? He mentions it like four times.
I mean, honestly, you carry a ring of power for like 20 years, and then another year of actually.
I mean, that's fair.
Closer and closer to where it's created. I'd want to die as well.
That's probably fair.
I get it.
But I just thought it was funny because like the whole time Sam's like, "Nah, we're good. Nah, we're gonna make it back." What do you mean? Nah, we're gonna. Frodo's like, "Nah, we did."
Yeah. Frodo's like, I don't even want to go back, man. I'm just done. So I'll just jump in.
It's actually this is maybe skipping ahead a little bit, but whatever.
No,
like later when they are talking about like going back and like the burden of the ring, it was interesting that like Frodo did talk about like I don't remember what grass feels like or what food tastes like or things like that.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that was kind of interesting.
When was that? It was
I think it
when
was,
they hooked.
I think it was on the stairs.
Oh yeah, when they took that little like rest.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Bro, Sam and like Frodo's relationship at the end when they're like in Mordor, like past and going there, is so good. It's so just.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Tight.
We'll get there. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Whatever. All right, the scene that is going back to the Schmeagol Gollum one.
Yeah.
I just wrote down. It was kind of cool because Gollum was like talking to himself, like the Gollum Smeagol type thing.
Yeah.
And like it was kind of doing the usual like cut to Gollum and then cut to Smeagol. But there's like a scene where he's looking into the water and you see his face turn from like Gollum like into Smeagol. So it's like he kind of like lightens up in his eyes. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like the first time.
Yeah, it's usually like his pupil dilation.
Yeah. And I think he probably his posture changes a little bit, but like yeah, it was just like interesting. I like noticed it. I was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wrote down. What the heck? I said a lot of the scenes in the background look so fake, and I don't know where it's for, but I could just say this now. Honestly, I feel like a lot of like background shots just look very bad. Like they just look like bad backdrops onto like green screens. I don't know. I just like they just looked off to me.
Right.
Like they were different. Like I don't even know. Like maybe I don't know what about them, but when I was watching them, I was like, this just like looks weird. Like it doesn't look like they're actually here. Which is probably true for a lot of places.
Super random, but how many notes did you write for this movie?
27, 28, 27.
I have 60.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's funny.
I have 27 and then I wrote down like arcs of 3 people because I just gave up.
Anyway. So, do you have anything else on the scene of Frodo?
No.
Okay.
No.
After this, they go back to like Pip and the orb thing. All right. Why couldn't they have like explained this a little bit more? I really wish they had. Maybe it was mentioned like a little bit in another extended cut of the first 2 movies. But yeah, they never they mentioned like kind of what it was in the first movie when Gandalf goes and sees Saruman. But other than that, like they don't mention anything. So I really wish they would explain like literally just take like 10 seconds and be like this is what this, like, why are you messing this is? Like, this is what it, you know what I mean?
Oh. I mean, I feel like they don't have to because, like, I mean, they're like, oh, it's a way to communicate with people. And
yeah,
then, like,
but
the
like...
scene with Gandalf and him, and then it's like, oh, this is communicating with Sauron, and, like, is obviously bad.
The
rest of it's just, like, magic.
I just don't get why Pip is, like, so attracted to this, like, ball.
Yeah, that I don't know.
That's the thing I just don't get.
That's like was my complaint. There's no reason. There's like literally no reason for Pippin to want that besides being like it's shiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's like, yeah, I don't know
I,
why Pippin wanted it. It's just random.
I just love though how I thought this was really funny. I wrote it down. So like Pip like grabs the thing, he goes all crazy. He like and
Yeah.
then Aragorn grabs it from him and blah blah blah, right? And Pip is like laying there, and Merry goes over and looks over him, and Gandalf runs over and just throws Merry aside and looks down. It was the best. Like if you
That's
pay
funny.
attention, he literally walks over and just throws him. It's so funny. Oh,
Is
it's
there
great.
is there a scene with Merry and Aragon after this? I don't know. I wrote down I liked the scene with Merry and Aragon. It was like an extended cutscene, and I can't remember.
Yeah, when Gandalf and Pippin were like leaving. Remember?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they were like watching them go, and he was like hanging out with them a little bit. He was first in the stable, and they were right next to each other.
Yeah.
And then Merry like runs up to like see them off, and Aragorn like chases him. So
I don't remember what they like said, but I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't remember what they said, but I remember it being like, oh, that was kind of a sweet interaction between the two, and I like that extended cut.
sure.
Like, it didn't. It only really adds much, like if you care about the movie, but like,
Right.
or if you already like it. But it was kind of cool. I liked it.
Yeah, after this scene, you kind of spend like a pretty good amount of time in Rohan. Next thing I wrote down was so after this happens, like Gandalf goes. There's like a small meeting of like the important people here, right?
Yeah.
And Gandalf's talking to Theoden, and he says like, "Hey, like I'm like he didn't mean to. He didn't know what was going on. He said he didn't like say anything to Sauron or anything like that. Why is Theoden like? And then like, not just that though. Not just that. Pippin like sees what's going on. He tells Gandalf like, "This is what I saw. So like, this is where we have to go." And this is when Gandalf was like, "All right, we should go help like, Gondor."
Minas Tirith.
Gondor, right?
Yeah.
Gondor.
Yeah.
And Theoden's just like, nah, where were they? They didn't come to us. It's like, bro,
what are you talking about?
This is literally a battle for humanity. Like,
No.
I literally just explained this to you, and you're still saying no.
No, but then it that opens up like Theoden's arc to be finished at like the
Yeah, I
end of the
know,
movie.
but like, why is he
Because I'm
always
like,
just
he
like a
is-
little turd? Like, bro, just
that's literally such a
just
trope in
stop
everything. What are you talking about? I mean, like the dwarves didn't want the elves to help them, and
I know.
because the elves didn't come to their aid
Yes.
in that one.
It's
freaking-
like, bruh.
I'm sure there's another one. I think there's one in the beginning, like with the same thing, where like
Probably.
elves didn't come to the aid.
Probably.
Oh, well, also because Faramir has like, remember last movie he had that like ranting thing about like where was Gondor when like something where was Gondor, then he like he gets really mad and he stops himself.
Yeah.
So I understand his grudge at Gondor.
No,
also,
I understand, but like, dude, maybe put that aside for this like, I don't know, one battle when everyone's gonna be wiped out,
one battle.
Yeah.
Bro, that's not one battle. This is like the last battle.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to fight this thing.
Yes.
Why would he fight that war?
Because if you don't, then you gonna die.
Nah, I don't
Yes.
think he understands the depth of what was happening at that point.
I just the only reason why I enjoyed that is because then when like Gandalf goes there and just forces his hand, like what are you gonna do as a king when you see like all these torches and them calling for aid when they really didn't?
Yeah.
Are you gonna still be like, nah? You know what I mean?
No, I mean yeah, and then that's what I wrote like, Theoden like, I mean that first one he says no, that's just him being stubborn, and then the second time he kind of gets like a second chance not to like back down from a fight, or I guess have hope because like in the second movie he's kind of at that battle, what's it called? That castle that he fights at. The massive battle scene.
Helm's Deep.
Helm's Deep. Yeah, then he like kind of like loses hope and like gives up.
Yeah. It seems like a common trait in this man.
Yeah, well, all your men die around you. You kind of be like, where there's no hope. It's only darkness.
Yeah, whatever.
Which I get, but I mean, a lot of this movie, honestly, is kind of just like, the theme of this movie is hope for people like Merry and Pippin. They kind of go through spurts of like losing hope over like what's happening and not, and sort of freaking Frodo.
Yeah.
But
yeah, True.
Honestly, yeah. Except for the only one I feel like is like Gandalf, and then maybe Legolas and Gimli, but that's just because they don't really.
Or Sam.
Honestly, thinking about no, Sam gets through it. Sam, I think.
Oh, I thought you were saying like that. Don't lose hope. I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh yeah. Never mind. No, I'm saying that. Actually, you're right that Sam doesn't lose hope. I don't. Yeah, I was thinking that you're saying that that's his like arc, but I don't really think that's his arc.
Sam, like, honestly barely has an arc at all. He's just like the same like guy this whole time. Maybe a little bit from like just gaining like some courage. I'd say you'd say that. But like overall, like he's just like that rock that just like is steady through like the whole, which isn't bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean he's like tested by the right at the end. He finally gets tested by the ring,
right?
Which like most people in this movie, like it's kind of interesting now. There's like multiple instances of people getting tested by the ring.
Right.
Like there's Boromir, Aragorn, Faramir, like
Gandalf.
Freaking Gandalf, yeah.
Whatever that elf queen person is, I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, Galadriel.
Yeah.
I forgot about her. And yeah, there's a lot of them. Jeez, man. And then Frodo in the end, and he fails. He's a loser.
Can't even...
Not to jump ahead.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So they have this meeting and things happen, and then it like goes back to like Merry and Pip. It's so fun. I love this scene because even Merry is just tired of Pippin. He's like, I told you. Why'd you have to touch it? What'd you do that for? You know what? I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like so sick. He's like, I'm done with you. Like, why are you being so dumb? It was kind of funny.
I mean, Pippin just kind of annoyed me at that point. I'm like, it's kind of annoying because like the second movie, he was like, he made the idea to like attack Isengard. And like, he was the one who still had hope, and like Merry lost hope, even though Merry was the one kind of like taking this more seriously the whole time.
Yeah.
And then like he all of a sudden is like, no, like let's go this way. Like I have a plan. We're gonna like beat them. And then they beat them, and all of a sudden he's just like this like stupid like I don't really take any of this seriously like type thing.
It just kind of like reset.
Yeah. Like for this moment, and it's just like okay, what the like, all right, dude.
All right.
But
one other thing that happens in this whole like time or this whole like area.
Yeah.
Is like the whole like thing between like Aragorn and what's her name? I don't really remember her name.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Wait, what? The king's daughter?
Yeah. No. Niece.
Is it niece?
He's their uncle. Yeah, he's their uncle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. So this brings up this fact or this like problem. Why do I still not care about the relationship between Aragorn and Arwen? The elf. I just don't care. It's probably the only thing I literally wrote this down. I said the relationship between Aragorn and Arwen is still something I don't care about. Probably the only thing they couldn't make me care about, honestly, and I don't know why.
Because they literally they like set up. Oh look, they had backstory. They show you none of it, and then they show you a scene of them on a bridge together, and that's it.
Yeah.
Then they show you like her being like, "I'm gonna stay," and then dying, and then there's like Aragorn being like, my love, and that's it. Like, it's so dumb.
I literally could not care any less about this.
Yeah,
if there was a relationship between two arcs, I would be more invested in that than I am in this. This was like just so nothing to me.
Yeah, it was. I just don't. I'd rather have him. I wish him and Eowyn were like more of the love story there because.
Yeah, I just.
The other like, what's her name is literally just like, oh, she's a pretty elf, and I understand why she loves her because she's pretty. Like, what the heck? I
don't get it. I don't get it. I don't care literally at all. That's probably the biggest critique of these movies, of like a storyline or like character arc or anything. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
And it could not make me care.
Don't either. Especially like, literally she only comes into play like one time.
Yeah, in Fellowship.
Maybe for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She comes in Fellowship. Does she have she like comes in like flashbacks for like half a second.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
And any other movies, that's all she does. She was in Fellowship for like 5 minutes. She kind of saved Frodo and stuff, which is great. Really cool.
Yeah.
Post that, don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was. I don't know if it was her in the books. I want to say it wasn't her because I feel like I heard something that like it wasn't her who saved Legolas or Frodo in the books. But it doesn't really matter.
Couldn't tell you.
But like, yeah, she was really important there, and then past that, she convinced him that the sword must be mended. She convinced her dad.
Right.
And that's it. That's it.
Yep.
So yeah, then she was dying for the rest of the movie.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden showed up at the end.
Yep. I don't know. Whatever.
It's kind of dumb.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Then,
I
yes.
What's next? No, what's next? I don't really remember.
Then we are off to Minas Tirith
with
Gandalf and Pip. And first off, I just wrote, it's crazy how close Minas Tirith is to Mordor. It's you can like throw a rock and you hit Mordor. Like it's so close.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool though, you got to say, because you have like I keep saying Gondor. You have Mordor, which is like all gross and dark and like just darkness, and you have like Minas Tirith, which is like a white cliff of like castle, which is kind of cool.
I don't get why like they were the last to be attacked. Like
the
closest people to Mordor, they're like, no, we're gonna leave you. I mean, I guess up until now it's been like it's just been Sauron's army.
Yeah, that is also true.
This army comes from Mordor and what's his name, the Nazgul's army, which is I knew this, but I never really like stopped and like thought about it. This Nazgul guy has his own freaking like Mount Doom type castle over here, like Black Gate type style. That's like all dead, and then he has his own freaking army that just pulls out. I'm like, what the heck, dude? Is just like high up in this military rankings, bro.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna pause and go to the bathroom because I'm dying.
I'm gonna pause and blow my nose.
Oh my goodness. Insert the beeps.
Okay. Wait, dude, we should do a little countdown. Do the little intro countdown. It's like 3, 2.
All right, that's going in there.
You go back.
All right, that's going in there. Anyway,
hey.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about Minas Tirith, it being very close. Anyway, so we get to Minas Tirith. We are coming up to the seeing the what's the dude's name? It's not a king. It was I don't know, like a governor or just like
he Stead or something. He's just a guy who's supposed to hold it until the next king is crowned, but there never has been a king crowned.
Right. So we're about to go meet this guy, and Gandalf looks at Pippin and he goes, "You better." What do you say? Better if you don't say anything. Not 1 minute later, I pledge my life to you, bro. You had one job.
Well, okay.
That was kind of funny. Come on, that was kind of funny. It was like, hey, maybe don't say anything. Like 40 seconds later, sir, I pledge my life to you. Dude. And Gandalf just looks at him like...
I kind of like it. The only reason I like it is because Pippin is finally like taking it seriously, where it's like, okay, Boromir died for me. Like, he was your son. Like, this is like kind of my fault. I'm gonna take this seriously. Like, I'm gonna pledge my allegiance to you type thing. Which, like, olden times, for some reason, they need a life for life. Like, whatever.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because it was literally within 1 minute from, hey, don't say anything. Hey, I pledge my life to... Like, I don't know. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I also did write down... Yeah, no, go for it.
No, go. If it's still in the scene, I'm going like a minute ahead. But
okay, I was just gonna say I found it interesting. I found it interesting how they present the different kings. This dude is wearing all black, obviously still like mourning the son of his or the death of his son. On a black throne in a white castle in a dark room that is empty. So like I don't know, just like the way they illustrate like meeting these new kings, like the last one with what's his name? I said it earlier. Theoden, yeah. So he was like all old and decrepit, but like the second he was like back to being like a person, like his throne room was like bright with like more colors and like action going on. Whereas like you see this guy, it's like dark, depressing, no one's in there, no light at all. You know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like moods with that. Like you just gotta pay attention, and look around for a second. But like even if you don't, you still get the feeling. It's like, oh, okay, this is like not a healthy kingdom. No. If like there's nobody in the throne room but him with a horn.
Right.
But I think right before that, I think they said, I wrote this down and I'm pretty sure I didn't read this like behind. I think it was Gandalf probably talking to Pippin about like the shadow.
Yes. I wrote this down too.
Yeah, they go in depth about like Mordor and Sauron and how like
I thought that was sick.
Like Sauron like casts a shadow
Yeah.
wherever his army is going because they don't like the sunlight to make their
Yeah.
like travels, which is like cool. I never really
Yes.
knew that.
Yes.
That's like dope.
I literally said, I'm thankful for the explanation of the Shadow of Mordor. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. I love that they did that.
I
Literally,
mean,
that's
like,
all I
yeah.
wanted for the little orb. Maybe not that long, but just like
Well,
two
like again,
lines.
honestly, like it's cool for a theatrical release. It's not needed because like I think they do such a good job being like it's magic,
Right.
but like it's understandable magic. Where it's like, yeah, okay, these dark forces
Sure.
carry with them a dark shadow,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, yeah, fine, we'll do it. But now they're like, he actually like sends forth like shadows and darkness with them, like
And yeah,
to
and
help aid his troops.
And I like how they explain. Oh my gosh, that was weird. I like how they explained it here because, like,
Yeah,
like we've talked many a time, and this is one of your like pet peeves is where they just like literally like, what's the term? Um, fan service
yeah.
like explanations of stuff like really grossly.
They just spoon feed you.
Exactly.
It's, like
Whereas,
disgusting.
whereas this is like a good way of explain. I keep doing this. Good way of explaining something. I keep wanting to say explanation
Yeah.
and explaining, so I start and I just say
Yeah.
explain super weird. Anyway, this is a good way of doing
Yeah.
it, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, like they set up the Hobbit. Like a lot of the time, they do it through the Hobbits,
Right.
which is great because like the Hobbits in basically themselves are like, I mean, who the audience is supposed to connect to because they're like kind of the most like they don't really know much about the world because they just come from the Shire.
Right.
Just like we don't really know much about the world because our life is kind of like the Shire. So like as we're getting introduced to these people, so is Frodo and so is Sam and so is Pippin and Merry, and so it's
Right.
like they can have these opportunities to be like, yo, this is who Sauron is. This is how he's like super powerful and dark, without him being like, without Pippin coming back and being like, oh yeah, here, let me add something else. And it's like, if you already knew, then who cares?
Right.
Like then you already knew. Yeah, the worst is when both of them know what they're talking about and they still talk about it like neither of them know.
That's
and it's
the
just
thing
like,
that irritates
shut
me.
up, dude.
Yeah.
It's so pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts to
Frodo and Sam
It cuts
again.
to them at the
It gets to Frodo and Sam again after this.
yeah. Oh, before we go there, there's a little scene. Pippin. Yeah, I think it's now, right? Pippin like pledges his life, and there's an extended cutscene where he's. Oh no, it might not happen now. Never mind, it doesn't happen now. Like Pippin and Faramir have a little interaction in the hallway. And I just thought that scene was actually really cool. And like it was just like I forget what they're talking about, but like
I don't remember.
I think they're talking about like the impending war. And like I don't know, like Pippin made like a joke and they kind of both laughed and they went like a little bit more serious. And I was like, that was a sweet scene.
Oh, I think I remember what you're talking about.
Put it back in. Yeah, it's definitely further because I have a note here. But yeah. Oh, yeah. This was one of the scenes. Now we're getting to the part where like the extended cutscenes for me, like I really like
are better. Yeah.
But like yeah, some of them I'm like, okay, I understand why they cut it out because it's just like again theatrical. You don't want a 4-hour freaking movie.
Dude, you know what's funny? At this point, we're about an hour into a 4-hour movie.
Yeah,
literally.
Dude, I was like looking at the clock. I'm like, how do we have so much left?
Yeah.
I was like,
crazy.
what has to come? Oh
yeah.
my.
So then we cut back to the hobbits, right? Going to Mordor. Again, Frodo just hard set on dying.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I get it.
and they drop another Hobbit reference, which I was super excited about, because when Sam was talking about like, you know, we have to save some for the return journey, and Frodo's like, no, we're gonna die, and then Sam's like, he says, no, we're gonna go there and back again, just like Mr. Bilbo. I was like,
oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I don't know, I just love it. I just love that.
Yeah.
And really quick, who made these stairs? Bro, these stairs is just a sheer wall. Okay? Like what the heck? Also, no hand railing, not even like a chain, nothing.
Hand railings.
Come on,
like,
bro. Can't believe this.
Yeah, those stairs are like wild. At one point, like I was looking up and I did it and it just goes like that.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, you're mountain climbing to the stairs.
That's some cheeks right there, dude.
Also, in that scene, there's a moment where like Sam stops Gollum. And I just thought it was kind of that was another unneeded extended cut for me. They just have like a little back and forth of being like, I don't like you. And he's like, I don't like you, fatty. And then he's like, well, I don't like you, Gollum. And then like, it's just like, okay, they like already don't like each other. And like, we were like, I was like, with that really wasn't needed. It was like
Yeah,
a whole
doesn't it
minute
doesn't
as
it
well.
like cut back to like Frodo and he's like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Nothing, just something to sort out." Like that one.
Yeah.
I think I do
Yeah.
remember
So
that.
yeah, like that. I was just like, okay, like I already knew that they disliked each other.
Oh, I also
But
wrote if that was the way, I'd just be like, "Nah, sorry, I'll take the Black Gate, dude. I'm not doing
yeah,
that."
honestly, just leave.
Imagine,
That's wild.
bro. Imagine walking up to the Black Gate and be like, "All right, this is the way in." Oh no, it's not. I have another way, and it's like, "All right,
It's
fine. It's probably better than this, right? It can't be any worse." And you walk up to this cliff and you just look up,
a
like
vertically 90-degree climb.
it's like, "Hey, maybe
Yeah.
not." Like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that
I don't
gate,
even
huh?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All
kind
right,
of
and
dumb.
then it goes back to Gondor. Nope. Minas Tirith, right?
Yeah, it goes to Osgiliath, the little
Oh.
the outpost.
Yeah, I didn't write a note for
I
this.
wrote
It's
one
just kind of
thing
like
down. I wrote one thing down.
okay.
Okay. So in this scene, you cut back to them, and it's like all quiet, and like you can tell there's some tension in the air, and it pans to orcs on a river. They're being all
Yeah,
sneaky. Why do they have torches,
because there's fog, bro.
bro? You can see them. You're trying to be sneaky. That's like
Yeah.
sneaking around and trying not to be seen with a flashlight. Like, what are you doing?
Well, they didn't see them till the last second.
Apparently not.
So,
Bunch
I
of
mean, it
idiots.
worked out. I mean, they didn't really plan on them coming through like the river.
I guess
right?
that's true.
I think they were like looking
Yeah,
for
they
like
only
a different
pivoted
tack, but
like last second.
yeah.
Oh, and then this is where like
But
they light all the fires and stuff too.
yeah. Bro, they just have like two guys sitting on these abandoned mountains
That
for
I literally wrote this.
hundreds of years.
I wrote this.
Who are these people?
I was
bro?
like, so where are these dudes living?
Yeah, I was like, these fires are in the middle of nowhere.
Literally on a mountain peak.
Like, what the heck?
I wrote
I
the
was like,
same
these
thing.
things have been up there for so long that like they understand. Like, I was
All right.
like, what?
Can we also acknowledge the fact not even just like where are they living? Dude, they're putting like not just like it's not like a small campfire. It's like
Yeah.
a giant like logs on
Yeah.
log like Lincoln log fire. How long did it take them to get all them logs up there?
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
How
I
do
thought
they
that was
get
pretty
food?
funny.
I need an explanation.
Yeah.
Who are these people lighting these fires?
Yep.
They just live forever.
Mhm.
Imagine being like joining the like Minas Tirith military, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna be up front line, I'm gonna be fighting. And they're like, yo, get up in that mountain and sit there for like 20 years. And if we happen to light this fire because there might happen to be a war, yo, just light it, and then I don't know.
Imagine.
What are you supposed to do then?
I-
Are you like, are you done with your job? You're like, well, this fire's burnt. I'm
Yo,
good.
what if you're like running up to like you're on one of them mountain peaks and you're running up to like light the fire and you just fall?
Just die. Yeah, so much could go wrong.
Drop the torch in the snow. It's out. Well, now what?
Yeah, one of these guys could have been taking a nap for like 2 hours.
That's what I'm
and they
saying.
just don't see it, and then the fires go out.
Dude,
It's like,
the snow leopard just eats them both. Like then what? You don't know. Like how is other people gonna know? There's only two of them up
they're
there.
just chilling up there on like they have two stools in the fire, and that's it. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I was like, why? Who are these people?
Yeah.
But-
Oh, it's funny. I then wrote
then-
the scene with Mary and the King was cool. Honestly, don't remember what I was talking about. I watched this like a week and a half ago.
Oh, wait, is that when Mary was like, I'd like to pledge my sword to you? And then Theoden was like, oh, that's the only scene that they really, like, in that instance have. Like, they're all getting ready, and then Mary walks up with a tiny little sword, and he's like, I'd like to, like, pledge my sword. And then he's like, and then I'll take you, like, you'll be the squire. Like,
it could have
something.
been.
And,
I don't
Then
know.
Mary gets all giddy. That's definitely it. That's literally the only interaction they have until the very end where they like go into battle and he's
Right.
like, "You're too like you don't."
It could have been that.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I think it actually was.
Yeah.
Also, yes.
I have a little quote here in that time. They're all getting for war. They're all getting to war, and Gimli says something about He's like, I wish I could like wrangle up a group of dwarves like fully armored, and like go to war with them because like then that would be like a massive force. And I want to quote Legolas says, "Your kingsmen have no need to ride to war. I fear war already marches on their own lands." What?
Ooh.
Like what? What is this in reference to? That was like that was an extended cut scene.
It could have been like something in the book, honestly, that they just never like talked about. Because I feel like that is something that they never even like talk about or even mention. Because they did do like some sort, like a small amount of fan service in here in Lord of the Rings, like that we talked about in the last movie, that the elves just showed up even though in the book they didn't, but they didn't want people to be like, where were the elves? But they never really did anything or even address the fact that like the dwarves weren't around at all.
Yeah, I feel like you could just write off the dwarves because like, I mean, the elves have at least. I mean, this whole movie, see, like the Lord of the Rings is supposed to be like this is the time of men now,
Right?
And like the elves are kind of like a part of it, but you like know them more, so it's like, wait, why aren't we using them type thing? But like the dwarves are like, besides Gimli, there's like 3 other dwarves in the Fellowship of the Ring meeting, and that's like it.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess there's dead dwarves in the first movie, but like that's literally it. So like
apparently
like
Gimli wasn't even supposed to go. He was just like someone that was there, and he was just like, you know what? I'll go on this quest, so I'm represented. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, yeah, I feel like they write off. I mean, all the dwarves in what's it called? Moria die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are dead. So it's kind of like, yeah, the dwarves aren't here. They kind of did the dwarves dirty, but then they gave them a whole new series of movies.
Yeah, that's
in The Hobbit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
Anyway, so we see some urukais, some little orcs.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why are Sauron's like all like gross and deformed, whereas Sauron's were normal, and Sauron's were all gross and deformed? Like, what is? Like, can this dude just not make cool looking orcs? Why are they all just like?
I think
what's going on
like
here?
the Uruk-hai were like his and Saruman's like invention, right? He was like the perfection of the orc, kind of.
Yeah, but they were the same, like in the sense that like the leader guy that's all gross with weird face, he's still an Uruk-hai.
Yeah. Is he? I thought he was just an orc.
No, he is.
No, he's not an Uruk-hai.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I literally read a thing. I read a thing saying that like Sauron's were like better looking than like Sauron's.
Well, maybe because they're just so close to like Mordor and they're like evil. They're just like, it's just kind of like, I mean, as the further, I guess like the closer you get to Mordor, the more like.
Okay, even if it wasn't Uruk-hai, but like they still fought like orcs in the last movie from Sauron instead of Saruman, and they still weren't like all gross and weird. Like what's going on here, man?
I don't know. I think
I'm just saying.
I'm just making it like.
Just the quality control here is just bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, at the end, Sauron's just like, don't even check him in the factory. Just push him out the door. Let's go.
Doesn't matter. Just send him out.
I mean, I think it kind of even shows like the closer you get to Mordor, the more like evil and demented things get. It's just like
that's true.
Yeah. And so.
Oh yeah, this is when they like get sent out to like back to Osgiliath, because the steward was like, "We need it, sir. We only have like 10 men." Well, then 10 is gonna have to do, like that whole type of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the extended scene with Faramir and his dad, is actually so good.
What is up with the? Oh, it's the steward, by the way. He's a steward.
Oh, the steward.
What is up with this dude? Like, yeah, you lost one son, bro. It sucks. You really want to just kill the other one just cause, huh?
Yeah, he's power hungry, and he really only liked Boromir, which is really sad. But that scene, like the scene where Boromir is like they show Boromir like kind of as like a figure behind Faramir, and he like says my son, and is obviously looking past him. Yeah. That whole scene was like so good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, like I actually understand, like it gives more context to like Faramir and his dad's like separation, besides being like, you always liked Boromir more.
All right.
It was almost like you literally gave me no attention because of how much you loved my brother and not me.
Yeah.
And it's like, geez, man. Yeah, and then they go out. This is where Faramir and Pippin then have their little meeting.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure this is when like Faramir was saying like, you know, I was never the warrior as my brother, but like I was like kind of not like maybe not specifically forced, but like kind of forced into like becoming one, either to be like him or like me wanting to be like him, or like my dad like forcing me to, one of the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Pippin was like you're different. Like you might not be like as strong as Boromir, but you're like a different type of strength or something like that. And it's just like yeah, it's just like a nice scene. I just
Yeah,
remember it now.
that does happen. I do remember this.
Yeah, it was good.
Um, I think we go again back to the stairs here because I wrote down.
Do we?
I think so because this is where like Frodo like almost falls and like dies and stuff, and Gollum is ahead of him.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wrote down, do you think Smeagol would have taken the ring had Sam not called him out when Frodo needed help? Because remember, he was like dangling and the ring was just like there,
Yeah.
and he like
Yeah.
sees it. I don't know. I feel like probably, not gonna lie.
No, yeah. I mean,
Because that's a lot easier. Just saying.
yeah, just pushing him back, grabbing the ring and pushing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I have no.
Honestly, why didn't he just do that? That's little. It's over. Literally over for them. Then you didn't have to keep going, risking your life all the way up, risking your life on the stairs, risking your life with this freaking spider. Literally, it's just push him.
Gollum didn't risk his life.
I mean,
He
I know
was like not even. He wasn't worried at all during this, bro.
Hey, there's still like small. There's a risk mitigation here, my guy.
You know what's wild? Just thinking about that, it's like Gollum knows all these things. Like he's been to these places before, like to the point where he can sneak into the spider cave and like be undetected and sneak out.
That's true.
Like, I mean, he has lived for what did you say, like 300 some years, and he's like kind of this evil,
587 like, he was when he died.
587, and it's like this dude has been around.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you kind of only know him as.
Does that
like,
mean he's older than
living
Gandalf?
In this cave. Yeah, it's like you only know him as like living in this cave, but it's like, I don't know if he's older than Gandalf, probably not. But then you like realize that he's been to a lot of these like places and just like been around Middle Earth and stuff.
What the heck? That's not true. This says 60 years, but that's impossible.
Gandalf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because it was 60 years from The Hobbit to The Lord of the Rings, so that doesn't even make sense.
I don't know, man. A lot. He's
Whatever.
old.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't write anything for that because it's just like.
I then wrote. Oh, and then it goes back to Osgiliath, the whole battle and stuff, and the Nazgul coming down and all the things. The next thing I wrote was the Nazgul still look really good CGI wise, like really solid.
Yeah.
And then like, why is the steward eating? So disturbing.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Honestly, though, I like that scene.
It's
like,
good.
How they play with like the music and like, I mean like Pippin singing.
Yeah.
And then they like cut to like mass mayhem, and then they cut to like him taking a bite out of food, and they cut to mass mayhem, and they cut to him like disgustingly eating a tomato or something.
What is up with that tomato, dude? What did that tomato do to this man? Like, relax, dude.
It's cool though. I like that scene. It just hits you, dude. Since he literally just like sends his son off to die, and just isn't even phased. He just continues eating.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't usually like most of like the slow motion in these movies. I think it's kind of gross and choppy. But like this slow motion when they're like riding into battle was really sick. I liked it a lot. But yeah.
They do a lot of slow motion in these films, just kind of cutting in and out of slow motion. It's kind of weird.
It's like that, like gross, like 30 frames per second, like slow motion though. It's not like the buttery smooth. It's just like the.
I kind of like that though. Like more than like
some people like it. I'm not a fan personally.
I don't like the slow motions because it's just been like overused in popular movies, and it's just like when someone's like jumping through a window to something, and they're like, and I'm like, dude, just go, just like let them jump. At least for this one, it's like slow motion, but at least they're like kind of moving with like a pace where like, oh, okay, they're just bringing attention to it.
Right.
Yeah. Then it go to doesn't it go to Aragon?
Yes, sir.
Sword finally.
Yes, sir.
Which, honestly, I mean, everything he gets a sword of Isildur, and then he goes to get the dead.
Yeah, I wrote
on the group.
I just wrote there was a cool interaction between Aragon and Elrond. The handing over of the sword. Honestly, don't really remember what happens because I watched this like 2 weeks ago, but I wrote that down and apparently it's pretty good.
I don't really. I mean, they're just like, oh, the sword has been reforged, and then he's like, oh, and then he's like, yeah, and
He's
he's
like,
like,
here you go.
yeah, and then then they have
Bro,
a
why
scene.
is that thing like 5 feet long though? He pulls it
It's
out
wobbly.
and it's
Yeah,
wobbling.
I notice it every time. It's funny, but yeah, okay. When they go though to get the dead, they have like extended cuts within and like running out and stuff.
Yes. Wait.
I
Before
really
this,
like that.
I just want to say
Yeah.
really quick before this, I just liked how Gimli was just like, "We're going with you, laddie," and then they just go.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love that because he's like, "No, I'm going alone," and all of a sudden he like pokes out of nowhere. He's like, "We're going
Yeah.
with ya," and it's like, "All right."
Kind of funny. Yeah, they definitely got ready and they're going. Because then, like, Legolas walks up with a he's like, what's up?
Yeah, he's like, "We're going
Where you
with
going?
ya, lad."
Yeah. I like that. And then they go in. And, like, that scene where, like, Legolas, he starts talking about, like, what he sees with his eyes and how there's, like, dead people and, like, horses, like, following them throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
I just like that. And then they,
yeah,
like, get up there. And then there's just kind of, like, a more extended, like, cut of them talking to them and having, like, an interaction.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they like form around him, and Gimli starts like yelling at them to like come and fight him or something because they all like circle them.
No, Gimli was like blowing them away. Remember?
Oh yeah, he blows some. Yeah, that's funny. That was before they got to the main area. But yeah,
Oh, but before they like run into the door, I wrote
yeah,
down it was funny because first Aragorn like goes in all like confident and stuff, and then like Legolas goes in, and then Gimli's standing there. He's like, and he says, "Elf that would go underground, but a dwarf that wouldn't." And then he's
yeah,
like, and then he marches in.
yeah.
I don't know.
He's like,
That's
I'll
kind of
never hear
funny.
the end of it. And so he
Yeah,
just runs in. But yeah, I think that whole like the whole extended cuts of this, because then they like win them over, and then they have to like sprint out because it's all like falling apart, and
yeah,
then they kind of like see the ships and stuff. I'm just like, oh, the extended cuts of like kind of seeing more of like the dead area is cool, and then you come out and you're like, oh, so this is how they actually got the boats. It's not
yeah.
just like some mystery.
Yes, that's so true. They just like
Like,
show up actually in the theatrical. It explains so much more.
yeah, in the theatrical version, like
You just kind of
he
accept it,
grabs,
and it's like
yeah, he
fine.
grabs like the dead guy, and he's like, I call you to like help us. And then the next time you see them is like them hopping out of the boats.
Right.
It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
How do they get these boats? But
Yeah, right after this, I said even the music is a little bit different in the extended cut. Did you notice that? I noticed that. Yep.
I did not.
Yeah.
In what way?
I don't remember.
Explain.
Honestly, couldn't tell you.
Oh, nice.
But I wrote that down, so I'm gonna stick by it. You know what I mean?
Maybe they have extended cut songs.
Could be.
Probably.
Oh, this is when they start, and then this is when the battle starts. The battle.
Yeah, my next. I was gonna say
begins.
my next note is so long. It's like further in.
Oh really?
Into like the battle. Yeah, I didn't really write that many notes. Honestly, towards the end, I didn't write like too many notes.
I wrote
yeah.
a couple. I wrote a couple things, but
All right, you lead this then.
So I felt like I had to sneeze, but now I don't.
Nice.
So the battle begins, and the first thing I wrote about this, dude, this city is so tall. So tall. Imagine being like a messenger, and you've like ridden all this way, right? Ridden all this way from like far away lands, and you get to the gates, and you're like, sweet, I'm here. And it's like, all right, where do I have to drop this off? Highest level. Where's the stable? Right here. You gotta walk, bro.
I take a nap. I'll be like, I'll deliver it tomorrow.
My goodness.
Day trip all the way up there, dude.
Honestly. I don't know. Anyway, tall, very tall city.
No, yeah.
It's
quite large.
The next thing I wrote was kind of a dope battering ram. That like giant like I don't even know what it is. Is it a rat? Is it like
I think it's a wolf.
A wolf?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think it is a wolf. Yeah. Kind of looks like a rat to me. I don't know why.
That orc, that like white or like the gross deformed like what does he look like? He looks like oh my gosh, what's it called?
Like a marshmallow that's been in the fire too much.
No, he looks like Sloth from the Goonies. But yeah, he does look like marshmallow. He looks like a crumpled up sock. Ugh, looks gross. He looks like when you like tear a page out because you messed up and you just mush it. No, you know what he looks like? He looks like those kindergarten newspaper glue projects. Put it on like balloons. That's what he looks like.
Like a paper mache guy.
Yeah. Looks like he's made of paper mache. But yeah, that guy. I kind of like. He's like the first actual general that like the orcs have had.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, probably since The Hobbit, honestly, probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess The Hobbit. I was thinking of just these alone.
No,
but,
yeah,
like,
I was.
they have like the Uruk-hai come in, and they have like the guy who fights Aragorn is kind of their leader, but like he isn't really like form ranks, do this.
Right.
And then like at Helm's Deep, you have that one guy who gets up on a rock and just shouts, and then like there's nothing else that comes of him.
Right.
Like, yeah, this guy's more. I mean, more and also less of the guy in The Hobbit.
Right.
Like he is like kind of the general, you can tell, but also like doesn't take on like as much of a role as the pale orc in The Hobbit.
Right. I agree, definitely.
They're also, dude, they came loaded. I don't know how they lost. Dude, they like had every tool.
That's facts.
They had massive. The scene where like they're like hold the gate, and then Gandalf was like, stand your ground, whatever comes through there. And they burst open the door, and it's like 5 heavily armored trolls.
Yeah.
Like 8 trolls. And even Gandalf was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then they like go at it, and it's like, yeah, how do you lose this?
Yeah. So the rest of the movie, they just like, there's just like big battles, right? That the battle is going on, but it kind of cuts between them and the hobbits again. So we cut back, right? What?
Yeah. I just said yeah.
Yeah. So we cut back to the hobbits, and they're finally at the top of the stairs. Sam is gone because he gets yelled at and things happen, so he leaves. So it's just Frodo and Smeagol. They're at the top of the stairs, and Smeagol leads him into the cave of what's her
Shiva.
actual? No, it's like Sheol
Eva.
or something. The
Sheila?
spider. Sheol,
no.
I think. I don't really know. I forgot her name.
Sherman.
Shelob.
Shelob. I was close with Sherman.
I don't know. Stop it. Anyway.
Shelob.
Anyway, so leads him through there, and he gets like stuck. Dude almost got out though. Remember when he's like stuck like this, and he's like chopping? He almost got out. Not gonna lie.
Oh. He didn't get out. He did.
Did he get out? No, he didn't.
Got out of the cave. Yeah, I did.
Well, he almost got free to the point that he almost like got out and like got to Gollum type deal.
Oh,
but
yeah, I mean he got.
Oh yeah, he did get out, and then they start fighting and wrestling and stuff. Okay.
No, that's after. No,
it's then.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. How the heck did Gollum live? Where did this man fall to? Was there just like a cushion of feathers at the bottom? Like where did this guy fall from?
Maybe there's spider webbing.
I mean, maybe.
Or maybe Spider-Man, like in Family Guy, everybody gets one. Spider-Man comes in and just saves them. Remember that? Yeah.
True.
Honestly, I mean, I'm on something. But yeah, I mean, whatever.
See, this jumps around so much.
It's just not needed plot, to be honest.
I guess
like, whatever.
not.
Gollum's gone for a minute.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then from there, we go immediately back to the battle. Go see the ram.
Yeah. Whoa, wait.
What?
Do we go? Is the spider attack Frodo yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's go back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't write it. I didn't write anything, but I mean, it could have happened. But I think we come back to it.
The scene. No, yeah, I think
maybe we don't.
I think you do. I think you do come back to it. Wait, maybe.
I mean,
not.
maybe not. You want to just talk about it? Just talk about it if you have something.
Yeah. The scene where like Sam, I love this scene because like Sam's finally like he comes back, right? And because he sees the lambless bread or whatever,
right?
And he's like, oh, like Smeagol's gonna kill Frodo.
Dude, it's like almost all the way at the bottom too.
Yeah,
he's probably like 10% of the descent left, honestly.
Yeah, dude is gassed. And also he takes like a heavy fall.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, how did he not die?
Honestly,
jeez,
that's huge facts.
Yeah, but like he gets back up, and the scene of him fighting the spider, I'm just like, yes, Sam, yes. Like he finally comes back, and he's like, I'm done. Like
yeah,
like I know I'm right.
He's got the light. He's got the sword.
Let's do this. Yeah, like look. So my phone background, is a bunch of like color coordinated with movie things.
Right.
And I changed my blue one out to be Sam holding the light and a sword.
Kind of sick.
Yeah. So it's kind of dope. But I love that thing where he's holding the light, just that like little clip of him just like kind of like ready to attack. And I was like, finally, the real hero of these two is actually doing something.
That's
because
kinda
Frodo
true.
is useless bag. No, he doesn't do anything. Gosh. Yeah. All right. Now let's go
Bro,
back.
Sam's back must hurt from literally carrying this man up a mountain.
Carrying Middle Earth on his back.
That's facts. Anyway,
honestly, Frodo better have given the house on the hill to Sam.
Honestly.
Otherwise, that's so bogus.
Yep. He probably just gave it to the sack full of Bagginses, honestly.
No, oh my gosh.
Honestly.
This is disgusting. Gosh.
Anyway, so
we
get back to the battle, and immediately it's just a shot of the battering ram going through the gate, which is so sick. Because the battering ram has fire inside the mouth of like the wolf, and they bust through and it's just fire. Oh, it's so cool. It's an awesome shot. Super cool shot.
Is this where Theoden arrives?
Yeah. Yes. Next thing I wrote was a cool scene with. Oh wait. No, yeah, this is an extended scene actually, with Gandalf fighting the Nazgul.
Oh yeah, that is so.
It was like kind of weird. Like he just like shatters his staff. I was like,
yeah,
what the heck? But how does he send him away again? I don't remember. They were fighting and then he leaves for some reason. Oh no, it's because Rohan shows up. Yeah.
Rohan shows up and they blow the horn. Yeah, I thought at first I was like, well, who is this horn? Because for a minute I was like, wait, is this where like our eagles showing up or something right now?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, who's blowing this horn? And then they pull up.
Yeah. I really like the scene, just like the visual of Rohan like spearing through all of the orcs.
Dude,
so satisfying.
Also, the speech that Theoden gives is such a good speech.
Yeah.
It's like pretty simple, but it's like, bro, this guy went from like being super down and giving up that like there's no hope, and then being like I'm not helping them, and then finally being like, okay, let's go help them. And then he's like, yo, we're here, like we're either gonna win or we're gonna die stopping the forces of evil.
Right.
And then he like the scene where he's riding and he's just like clunking on the spears and he's just like yelling ride.
You know that wasn't scripted.
Really?
Yeah,
that part?
the spear things.
That's dope. That is dope. I love that. I love that speech. Every time I'm just like, ooh. And then they go and just battering ram these people.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny how they're sprinting at them and like the orcs start to like lose. Like, they're like, okay, like what? Is this real?
Yeah.
And even like the general is like,
Yeah.
And then they just boom.
Because at that point it was like, oh, we kind of got this. Like the orcs were like, all right, we got it. Don't worry, we're gonna win. And then it was like, and it was just like a wall of horses and men just like full sprinting at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really like how they do with music, because it's like Theoden's big speech and there's like this like loud music and stuff like this, and they start sprinting, and like right as the horses hit the orcs, it's just dead silence of music, and all this is just like bashing up like swords and people screaming and just like horses blasting through people. And then there's a scene that's like they're in a little bit, and then there's like a camera following all the horses, and you just see horses running through people, and it's just like knocking them over. I love that scene.
Dude, can we just acknowledge the fact that like in reality, like horses would actually do that? Like if you tell them to like full sprint at a wall of men, they'll just do it.
Yeah. Also, like the horses that they would be riding into this aren't like the small little ones that you.
No, they're the draft horses.
They're the massive hoofs the size of your face ones. Like, bro.
The ones from the Budweiser commercials.
Yeah. You just need to put a plate of metal in front so they don't get a beard.
Oh, dude.
And then you just take out 20 people in the first sprint.
Imagine seeing like an 8-foot horse running at you with a guy on top of it. And then seeing like really 250 of them coming at you. Oh, God.
There's more than 250. They got like 5,000 at least, right? I think they got like around that. But
also, can we also acknowledge the fact that these guys marched like halfway across Middle Earth to come here, and the second they got here, they were like, I'd really like a no nap? What? Battle? Now? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they kind of, sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally like they sprinted over there, showed up on the hill, took a breather for a minute while Theoden is like giving a speech, and then they just went again. And the horses are like, "Come on, man,
Yeah.
that's fair." And then the horse is like, "All right, cool. Now I'm just gonna go mow down people, literally run over them."
And right before all this happens, like the steward is like standing out. He's like, "It's over. We've lost." And during all of this happening, he's like trying to kill himself and his son that's still alive.
Yeah.
Also, that was kind of nice though. I like the extended cut of this as well because it kind of showed them going somewhere else. Because it was like behind Minas Tirith. Remember, it was like a little path through like a graveyard / like tomb shrine area. What is it? Like a crypt. I think it'd be more like a crypt area, like behind the actual castle. I didn't realize how far away they actually went. It was like a little bit on the mountain.
Bro, this dude sprinted then when he coughed.
I know! That's what I'm saying.
He's hustling.
So unnecessary, but so awesome.
I was gonna say that, like, even if because I kind of thought they went into the throne room area.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
If they went even further, it's like, bro, this dude did a Usain Bolt and just hustled while burning.
All still on fire. He made it quite far.
Just to jump off the edge, like, dude, why don't you just? Like,
he sent it. He actually sent it at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
going back, I have one note. I mean, we kind of jumped ahead, but we're just kind of going back to the battle.
Oh yeah.
Mary and Aowen kicked off their horse, right?
Oh wait.
Fighting.
Wait.
What?
Can I say something before this because this happens right before this?
Yeah.
Okay. That was so gross. You look like the Joker right there. Okay, so they charge through the orcs, right?
Yeah.
And then they basically charge through everyone and they take out like 80% of like the orc army, right?
Yeah.
And right after this, like the mercenary men guys show up with like the Oliphants because they couldn't just call them elephants. They had to be like Oliphants or something weird.
Well, they're massive.
I mean, whatever. Okay. Can you explain to me the thought process of, there's like a 90 to 100-foot creature in front of me with men riding on top of it? You know, and like giant trunks, giant legs, and giant tusks with like barbed wire across it. So all they have to do is just go like this. And like 1,000 people die.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Explain to me the thought process of, you know what? We're on horses. They're on a massive elephant. Let's charge at them.
I don't know.
Excuse me.
What are you
Sir?
supposed to do? Run away?
I don't know. Dude, they literally charged as a wall, and the elephant just went like this.
Yeah.
And like 50 horses and men were dead. Yeah, like just gone.
Wild. Those elephants, honestly, I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, that's a smart idea.
That is genius.
Battle with elephants.
Yep.
They literally
and they can run. Dude, them things were fast.
Yeah. Dude, you don't even have to move your head as an elephant. If you put like the barbed wire across like the tusks, they just have to sprint forward and they just like clothesline everyone they hit.
Yeah.
And they kill them.
Yeah. I literally said, like, what is the point of charging at a 50-foot tall elephant with giant tusks that can take out like 30 cavalry with one twist of the head? Just.
I mean, like, the only chance you get of fighting them is like, not everybody's a bowman, so you kind of have to get into them and then kind of like behind them or underneath them to kill them.
I guess that's
because they were like slashing like legs and stuff, but.
Yeah, that didn't really make sense to me either, because like you saw a shot of like one of them like coming down, and they had like 300 arrows in this thing, like a bunch, right? But then somehow like just a little like ching of like the legs like brings it down. Yeah. I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Get the Achilles tendons back there.
Whatever.
Yeah, but
anyway, yeah. Sorry. Now is when your scene comes up.
Yeah. Mary and Eowyn like fall off, and you actually like see them fighting.
Yeah,
which is kind of dope.
Oh yeah, that wasn't in the theatrical, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
that was extended. Yeah, which is super cool because like you actually for the first time see this chick like Eowyn actually fighting.
Yeah, because
like the only other time you saw her is like twirling her sword, and then she stops is stopped by Aragon.
All right,
and that's like really it. And like kind of to jump ahead a little bit, she runs into the King of the Nazgul and like fights him, and she's the one who like kills him with her little scene of like no man can kill me, and she like takes her helmet off and is like, I'm no man. But it's like if it was just that alone, which it is in the theatrical version, and I'm like who is she to fight like, the head like the almost like the second in command of Sauron's army.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she shows up and can just beat this guy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, this scene, I'm like, all right, at least she knows how to fight. Like she was like slashing like at least like 10 orcs by herself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, like it shows that they can actually fight. And then Mary just like absolutely destroying orcs.
He actually
Right?
was,
He, like,
though.
gets grabbed by one, he just goes like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So him. That was dope.
I actually really like this scene. I like how like I don't know, is it a dragon or Nazgul? Whatever the flying dude is, right?
Yeah.
He like snips, or like the thing like snips at like whatever her name is. She just like kind of sidesteps and just goes shing and like just head off. It's like, bro.
Every time.
Wow.
Time that happens, I'm just like, oh, that was quick. That was like instant. All right, cool.
Also, okay, I wrote
people
this.
Have been like scared of him.
Yeah, I wrote this down too. How crap of a weapon is a mace?
That was a flail.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, his weapon? What do you mean? It's a fantastic weapon.
Listen, that's a crap weapon. All right?
No.
Yes. Okay. I mean, okay, here it was paired with a sword, so it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
But like you have to like fling this thing. Okay, from here, you're exposed.
Yeah.
Exposed. Okay, now maybe not anymore because there's someone in front of you. Exposed.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, you're gone. This is the dumbest thing ever. You're like whipping this thing. Okay, you're exposed here, and you have to bring it back. Like, this is the dumbest weapon of like any existence.
In real life, you usually have it paired with a shield, so you can kind of like swing and have that.
Still
but also, this dude has like 100-pound like freaking kettlebell at the end of it, and he's just like swinging it, which is.
I was really watching this. I was like,
is,
I mean, it looks sick, but how dumb of a weapon is this thing?
It is sick. And then he hits the shield, and all of the shield just like
just explodes.
And all that happens, she's like, "Oh, my arm! Ow!" I'm like, bro, your arm would not be like your arm would be like this.
It'd be big broken.
All your bones would be shattered. Like, she's like, "Oh my gosh, my muscles are feeling tight now after that one." After my shield
cramp. Oh
my gosh. She's like, "Oh man, that's a diet hitting the joint right there." Oh.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I would kind of like to know a little bit more of like the Nazgul's death, because like I thought they were like unkillable, but now that like I don't know, like I get it, kind of dumb, kind of whatever.
I think they're kind of just like no one's killed them. Like you burn them alive, you stab them. Well, maybe no one has stabbed them in the face.
Maybe that's true. Who knows? I did write though, so like the ship pulls up with like the undead and Gimli and Aragorn and all of them. So like, how did Gimli jump off the ship if he can't jump?
They should have had it so like he like hoists himself over and then just lands on his stomach. That was so funny.
But actually though, he can't jump. Remember at Helm's Deep, he was like, all he could do was this.
Yeah.
He couldn't jump.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny.
Maybe they had low-hanging rails.
Could have been.
Ship.
Could have been.
So you could just kind of like hoist his hips over.
That was such a sick scene though, where when the undead like come off the ship and they like tackle the elephant like a I said a herd of ants. That's definitely not the right terminology. But like literally just like it's just all gross and cool, and it's awesome. It's a cool scene.
They're actually called a group of ants. Are called a litter.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they are.
Is it really?
Yeah. Look it up. Litter of ants. So yeah, like they came on like a litter of ants. Yeah. So
it's called a colony.
No, it's called a litter.
No, it's called a colony.
No, I don't think so. I think you don't know. It's Wikipedia. Is that Wikipedia?
No.
Yeah, it's Wikipedia. Yeah, it's wrong.
It's definitely called a colony.
I read it on james'sants.website.com.
Bro, a group of dogs is called a litter.
Some blog I found. No, those are cats.
It's both.
Just mammals then?
Apparently.
What are ants, like omnivores or something?
Do you know what an omnivore means?
Omnivore? Do you even know what that word is? Alright, what are we even talking about?
I hate it here.
Omnivore. Alright.
Oh my god. It's alright, no one watches this.
Yeah, no. And then, at least not this far, this has been like 2 hours. And my next note.
Yeah, I mean, how far are we realistically in this movie? Like 2.5 hours?
We're almost done. Like this battle, the main battle at Gondor is basically over. Once the ghosts come in and Eomer, Eowyn stabs what's his name in the face. It's kind of
I
done.
think we're like 2.5
I wrote
hours
a
in.
quote though. Yeah, I wrote a quote. Gandalf is talking to Pippin, and they're like having this scene. I think it's also in it definitely is in theatrical. And he says the journey doesn't end here. Death is just another path that we all must take. And then he kind of starts like describing like heaven and stuff.
Right.
It's actually really cool because it's kind of like, I mean, it's the first like hint at like, oh, there's kind of like some Christianity themes mixed up in this.
Right.
And it's also like, oh, I mean, it makes sense because like Tolkien was like a Christian guy, and he would talk about his books to C.S. Lewis, who's one of like the biggest known like Christian writers and stuff out there to this day. So it's like, oh, I like that scene. He was like describing like to Pippin, like what lays like after death and stuff. Because he was like, okay, like yeah, this isn't over. Like we won this, but this still isn't like over. And then Pippin's like, oh, that doesn't seem that bad. It's like, yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that scene.
Yeah. Anyway, the battle ends.
Yeah.
And we go back to our Hobbit friends. And at this point, Frodo's in one of the towers. He's being like kind of like all his stuff is being gone through and blah blah blah. And Sam like shows up and things. But before Sam shows up, there's like an argument between like two orcs, and like bad things happen to the point that like they just start like killing each other.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think it was the orcs and like Uruk-hai type fighting.
Yeah.
And the orc like pulled a knife on an Uruk-hai. Then,
yeah, he's like he tried to kill me or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, bro, they like all kill each other. I just wrote, I'd like to know the number of orcs that kill each other. Like that, just like the number of orcs that like in a workplace incident, like everyone just like dies.
Yeah.
Like this seems to happen a lot.
Literally all but 3 of them. Like there's only 3 left that Sam comes back and like kills.
I'd love to know the percentage of like orcs killed by orcs.
Yeah. And like nobody even like casts like a look. They're just like, no, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's keep going. Also, bro, that scene, they added some like more fighting scenes in that because before it was like kind of quick. There's a scene where one of them grabs a big boulder and slams it down on another orc's head, and then it cuts and goes to the next thing. And I was just like, what the? And like if you pause it like at the right time, you're like, that looks pretty graphic. But like they like cut it like just as it happened.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was kind of cool though. I mean, it was super unnecessary for the theatrical because this is all extended. But like when Frodo and Sam are like making their way down and they just like get caught up in like an orc like army.
Yeah.
It kind of set up the whole fact that like they do fight a lot. So the whole plan of them not being caught was Frodo just being like, Sam, start fighting. So like they literally just start a brawl. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, how many of these guys kill each other, and what is the percentages here? Like, is it like 10% of all orcs made like just die to another orc? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and then dude, I like that scene. The only one thing I like about the scene. Frodo like falls and he's like, oh, like the weight of the ring, and it kind of like zooms in on like it like gives a shot of his neck. You can see like digging into his skin, bro.
It's so bad.
But like. You could see like obviously like the cuts right here and stuff, but like when it went on the side, it looked like it was just like in his neck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It showed like more of like the physical like pain of what he's carried,
and then
or the physical burden rather.
Yeah, I mean they did it later again, so it wasn't like necessary in this. But he's like, oh, the ring is like heavy here, like it's heavier, and which is interesting.
Right.
But yeah, I don't have later.
Then I wrote, yes.
Sorry, I have a note here to go back slightly. After the battle and stuff at Gondor, there's a scene where Éomer finds Éowyn. So, like, Éowyn, the girl, and her brother.
Right.
And, like, he screams. It's, like, kind of people are looking around, and he, like, screams and goes, like, and grabs her. Remember that extended cutscene?
Wait, what?
It's like, okay, so like the battle's over and people are like kind of looking over the dead and like trying to find people and stuff. And like Éowyn goes up to like her uncle and they have like a scene.
Right.
And then it goes kind of around. And then all of a sudden Éomer, like the head of those like, you know who Éomer is, right?
No.
Yeah. The brother.
The
like the second guy of Gondor. The one who like runs when
the Riders of Rohan, that guy?
Yeah, yeah, he's like kicked out. And so him and Éowyn, the girl who has a thing with Aragorn, her brother and sister, finds her on the ground and like just has this like super emotional scene where he just like yells and goes and like grabs her. And I'm like, I was just like, whoa, what the heck? Like
Don't
it was just like
remember.
really real out of nowhere.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just like people looking around and all of a sudden like he just screams. And it was just like a really well acted scene. And I'm like, what the heck? This guy was not used enough, man. I was like, yeesh, it was like really good.
Yeah.
But all right, let's jump back to Mordor.
Oh. The next thing I wrote, well, after the battle, like they're like kind of conspiring, like, all right, now what? And Aragorn's just like, you know what? They're in there. We need a big distraction.
Yeah.
Let's just go right up to their gate and fight. I know we just lost like 50,000 men. Probably not that many. Probably more like 10,000. But you know what?
Yeah.
We're just gonna make a massive battle and just distract mans. That's big bold. That's huge bold.
Yeah.
Big bold.
Yeah. Wait, also that scene in then he goes into Gondor's like like throne room and he grabs the orb.
Does he? Oh yeah, he
The
does.
extended version again. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
It was
what
like
do you think?
really. He was like telling him, he's like, I know that you've been looking for me. Like, yeah, I've been like a.
Oh yeah.
He's the rightful king.
Right.
And then like he shows him
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Big bold.
Elandriel or whatever, and then all of a sudden he like drops it, and then that like foreshadowed scene beforehand where his like necklace falls off, like seems to happen, and then it just like hard cuts to like him riding to the Black Gate, and I'm just like, that was really weird.
A little bit.
Like
I thought it was kind of cool that he was just like, "Hey, I'm coming for you." You know what I mean?
No, that was cool. And then the ending, he just like was like, I saw a picture of that elf
that no one cares about. That only I care about, but no one else does.
Like, what is happening right now? It was just like, I don't know. It was out of pocket. It was weird.
Yeah, fair. I want to know more about this faceless man. The what is he called? The Mouth of Sauron.
Mouth of Sauron. Yeah.
I want to know more about this dude. Apparently, he was human at one point. I don't really know.
Yeah. I think he's just one of those, like, he's not Nazgul, but he's just kind of one of those, like, corrupted that talk. He's weird. I don't like his mouth. He has a slit like here, and then to the top that like opens up when he talks.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It was cool though. That was the only part of this like extended of this movie that I'd ever seen before. I'd never seen any other extended like piece.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I 100% get why they cut it.
Oh yeah.
It's just like it's just like cool, but it's like, okay, it doesn't really add anything at all.
Yeah.
And then he just gets beheaded by Aragorn.
Yep.
Which is like kind of the first time you ever see Aragorn like just get tempered and kill something.
Yeah.
Like, which was interesting, but because like he spared Theoden killing Green Worm or whatever, like when he was running away, and like I don't know.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, now that I think about that,
where all of a sudden he like just strolls up, he's like, ah! And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
is now the time.
Well, I guess. Right. Well, that was. He thought that Frodo was dead. Remember, because they produced the myth.
Yeah.
Mithril.
Mithril, yeah. Yeah, but like he beheads him and he's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, geez, chill out, beast. You have to like get us so angry.
Fair, that's true.
But yeah.
What do I write next? The Eagles helped him out. I just said the Eagles couldn't have come earlier, huh? Like everyone's thoughts of this entire thing.
They're not. I have an explanation for this, Thomas. They can't come. They can't go to like Mordor or like places like that because they are blocked by like shadow that Sauron casts out.
Okay.
They're like they can't go. Well, like then it makes sense that they can kind of start coming up because like they killed all their armies, so they're just secluded to this one spot.
Right.
So they kind of come up in this last start, but it's like a last ditch effort to be like, okay, like everything come here.
Yeah.
Because like we need everyone.
Sure.
Also, to talk about the scene that they're fighting, there was an original cut that was only shown to like cast and crew, I think. I don't even know if it was like fully cast and crew. But Aragorn, you know how he fights a golem or a cave troll?
Yeah.
During that? You know that was at one point Sauron himself?
Really?
Yeah, they actually had like Sauron like come out back into human form and like he was fighting Aragorn. And then they were like
I forget why they said they like decided not to, but they were just like that would be like too much for the viewers, or like we don't. I don't know why they said not to, but I kind of get why not, because that would be like, whoa, all of a sudden he's like physically back.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and then
That'd
what
be
they
kind
did
of
is they just
yeah.
they like took that scene and then they just overlaid a cave troll over Sauron.
I was gonna say that'd just be like a all of a sudden like Palpatine returned somehow like type deal.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, like this whole thing is like not getting them the ring so that Sauron can come back, because like he's kind of all these things but like fully human again.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's like, yo, what's up? I don't have the ring, but like I'm back.
I'm here anyway.
Yeah.
That's
also
fair.
I think. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was beforehand. I probably said that before. I mean, I could say it again. You know, originally they had that's like, I think maybe you said it. They had to like change how Sauron looked because he looked too much like Nazgul or something, and people were confused. Or like he was like that could confuse people, so they like made him like look pointy or like different or something. It was just like a weird like tidbit thing, which was interesting to me.
The only thing I know is that they changed. Is Peter Jackson changed how the Eye of Sauron looked in The Hobbit because he originally misinterpreted how he looked in the books.
Yeah.
Because the eye is supposed to be like a shadow of a person. And if you watch in The Hobbit in the second one, the first time you see the eye, because it goes from the necromancer's outline into a person, or into the eye, so his pupil is the person.
It's kind of like,
it's kind of cool. It looks a lot better in The Hobbit, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, like, the eye is supposed to be kind of like Sauron, though, as well. Like, he's kind of, like, the eye's kind of Sauron, but like, not Sauron.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it is, but, like, he misinterpreted how it looked, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then you go to,
the hobbits, again, are, like, ascending Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Sam is literally carrying the story at this point. Like, he has Frodo on his back.
Literally, yeah.
Smeagol shows up. There's a small brawl, and Sam like whacks him over the head with a rock, which was very satisfying. And at this point, Frodo's like somehow running all of a sudden, just gets energy. Sweet. Sam's probably like, "All right, bro, I just carried you. Where was this? You know what I mean? Like, what the heck?"
Yeah.
Anyway, we run to the volcano.
What?
Oh,
you check the CGI. The CGI has been, like, a lot of people know about how bad the CGI is, but the scene where Sam hops up and then runs into the volcano, you can literally see, like, him just sliding across the ground.
Really?
Like, his legs are moving, but he's going like he's like, it's like not even going with it. It's just like weird. He's just like slowly going. Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
Bad. It's so bad.
I didn't notice, honestly.
Like, I saw like because I watched like these people do like CGI breakdowns of movies, and he's like, as they were doing like Lord of the Rings, and they're like, all right, let's get to this infamous scene of Sam, and it's just like him sliding across the ground, and
no,
it's so bad.
That's
they
really
didn't line the ground up well enough.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And now they're in.
So they go into the volcano. Dude, who is building a bridge in a volcano? That's what I want to know.
Pimps.
Someone's in here in this volcano building a bridge.
They're a beast.
Somehow alive with all these like toxic gases, crazy heat. Nah, we're good. We're gonna build a bridge right here, dude.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. Anyway, another brawl happens. Freaking Smeagol bites off Frodo's finger. It was really nice. My favorite part about that is that he like picks it up, throws the finger away, and just like looks at the ring.
Yeah.
Anyway, Frodo tackles him off the edge. Somehow he doesn't die. Smeagol falls into the fire.
That scene where the ring is just on like a little hard part of lava.
I wrote this down. I said, imagine if the rock that the ring was on never broke. It just like floats down the river of lava and just sits there.
So annoying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after this, the Eagles come, they save them, things happen.
Wait. The tower explodes.
Oh, yeah.
That tower...
it doesn't explode, it falls down from the bottom up.
Sorry, not explodes. Well, it does also explode. The eye explodes.
It does.
Implodes. That destruction is so cool looking.
Yeah.
It is so good.
And then the eye explodes and everything like shoots off to one side.
Yeah.
I love that scene. It looks so good.
I was telling you earlier, they purposely made the scene. They took great care to not make it look like the
World Trade Center.
Yeah, the World Trade Center. Like they made it. Yeah. They made it. Because this film came out in 2003, so it was still quite fresh in the minds of many. So
that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, so they made the tower like disintegrate or like start from the ground up, and they didn't actually make it explode. And the sounds that they used were of glass instead of like metal and stuff.
Like the middle part, started crumbling, and then the top part kind of fell, and then the bottom came up.
Right.
It was cool. I liked it though. It
was really well done.
Very good for 2000, especially for 2003.
Yeah.
That still looks clean to this day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they spent so much time on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Things happen. The battle's over. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about this?
I do. I have two things.
Go for it. My sir.
The little scene at the end, and this is the extended version. So usually Sam and Frodo kind of run out, hop on the rock, and they have a little thing, and then the eagles come. But then in the extended version, there's a scene of Sam they're it's over, and that's where Frodo's lying there, and he's like, I can see the Shire, I can smell the grass and taste strawberries or something.
Right.
And then Sam breaks down and starts crying because he's they finally complete this thing that took 13 months to do.
Right.
At the end of it, they're going back and they're it was 13 months. And I was just geez, a whole year of them literally just on the run.
Right.
Well, he literally is just I forget. He's finally yo, this is actually we did this and we're dying. There was no trip home. Because I feel he kind of knew, Frodo knew. He's yeah, there's not going to be a trip home. This isn't a there and back again. And then Sam is kind of trying to convince himself, I feel, the whole time, or not believe that there's no way back.
Right. Except
for kind of towards the end he realizes it, and here he's hard set. He's it's over, and this is the end. And then they kind of just hug, and I'm just oh my gosh, that was so sweet.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles come, and I have this last note: was Gandalf always on the Eagles to come pick them up?
He was on one.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, he flies in. It does a shot of him flying with them, and then as they pick him up, you can see him on top, and it kind of looks like
he's really. It looks. I've never noticed this.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's in the theatrical version. I think he's only in the extended. Because I don't really get there's no really need for Gandalf to be there.
Wait, hold on.
But yeah, Gandalf.
First off. There is a Gandalf riding an eagle Funko Pop. Just want to throw that out there. That's kind of rad.
Buy it.
Return of the King. No way. Is this actually a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, literally right here. I have a pic.
I don't see him.
I didn't think he's in.
Oh, wait. Is that him?
Wait. Can this other photo load, bro? My laptop is so slow. Oh my goodness.
That's not it.
Okay, I don't think he's on there in the theatrical version. I literally think they took him out.
Eagles return.
That is dope.
I don't see them.
He's on there. I 100% know that he's on there in the extended version.
Really?
Yeah. I'm seeing a GIF of it right now. You kind of see him on top of it.
Yeah, I see. He's white.
I think of the theatrical version, they might have just released it because I don't remember him ever having a scene where he's flying in on them and then they focus on him being on it. But,
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I was just that was just a really weird little thing that I feel they added in that I didn't remember.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I don't have much more on this movie. This movie's freaking-tastic.
I have some more things. I have 4 more.
Okay.
I just wrote Frodo waking up, although, again, it's that gross CGI. It's just a weird pacing. The CGI is just a really weird pacing. Because it's
Yeah.
It's like 85% like full speed, which is just like a weird to me. Like whenever I edit videos, I like the least amount of slow motion I'm gonna use is like 70% of full speed. Anything past that just looks weird, in my opinion. Regardless, fantastic scene, even though it had weird slow motion. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention. I literally wrote forgot to mention. Earlier about Faramir getting together with the Rohan princess girl.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. Kind of liked it.
I like it.
Cool conclusion. It just makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of relationships, still don't care about Aragon and the elf. I wrote that down.
Nope.
Nope. I really like the scene where they're back in the Shire at the pub. When everyone around them is just like having a jolly old time, like nothing's changed, and they're all sitting there like just silent. And just like I don't know. It's just like they're all having mutual understanding of what they've all just gone through, and that they're finally home, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Or rather, home is the same, but they are not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's almost like that. Just even plays into Tolkien again, because like he went to World War One, and I'm sure he just comes home and he's like,
Anyway, here's that war.
One, right? It had to be one. There's no way he fought in World War II and then wrote these books.
No, you're right, because this came out in like 37, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless.
So like I think he was World War One. And then.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, like you come back and it's like, wow, I've like done things and seen things, and these people have like just been living their regular life. They're just in this pub, and they're like you barely even connect with them anymore because it's like you're so different.
Yeah.
But these people, like to them, they like the first time they walk in, they're like up on these horses and they like nod their head to that one guy, and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so literally nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Like they have not even like noticed anything in the world. It's just like, wow, it's wild.
So like Sam goes and asks the girl out. I don't remember her name, but this girl that he had been talking about and that he marries.
Or something.
Anyway, after this, it kind of goes to Frodo like narrating as he's writing and finishing his book in the red book that Bilbo gives him.
Yeah.
And I really like the scene where it says, "How do you pick up the threads of a past life?" So good. Like, that's just so awesome. And it plays into exactly what we were talking about. Like, you have this past life and you just, like, leave and do something that no one else is really doing around you. Yeah. And, like, you like, come back and it's, like, almost expected of you to, like, come back to normal life and just live again. Yeah. But, like, how you do that is, like, super hard and, like, difficult. So I just thought it was a super cool line. How do you pick up the threads of a past life? Anyway, I love how, again, it kind of somewhat ends the story of them writing down this story, and, like, in the background, they've always actually just been narrating the story or, like, going through and writing it. Yeah, and I like how he, right under The Hobbit, There and Back Again, right under it, he writes Lord of the Rings, like, by Frodo. But, like, that's so cool. I love that. Yeah. I don't know why. I just absolutely love that. The whole scene, again, I didn't write this down, but I just thought of it really quick, of the coronation of the king, when, like, they were gonna kneel to him and he's like, nah, y'all kneel for no one. Like, that was super cool. Great scene. And then lastly, I thought the ending was super good. It's like sad but not too sad. It's like just sad enough when he's like saying farewell to the hobbits at like the docks. I just thought that was super cool again. So all in all, fantastic movie, fantastic series. Extended edition was very long. It's a commitment. It's 4 hours, like a legitimate 4 hours. If you've seen all these before and you've never seen the extended, definitely watch it. But like, if you've never seen these movies, don't. But it's a lot.
Don't know.
It's a commitment. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
Did we mention the Oscars that this movie won?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. Best Picture, Best Original Song, Best Director, Best Visual Effects, Best Original Score, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Sound Mixing, Best Costume Design, Best Makeup, Hairstyling, and Best Film Editing. 11 Oscars. It took
That's
a
pretty good.
full sweep. But yeah. Anyway, this I think is my favorite of the three. I think it's the best one by a mile.
I think it's close. Honestly, it's close. Like I think it's what goes 1, 3, 2. That's still a thing for me, but it's very close.
It's kind of funny because before I rewatched all these, my order was literally the opposite of what it is now.
Mm.
It used to go 2, 1, 3, and now it is 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that is very relative because they're all fantastic movies, but like,
yeah,
in my opinion, the third one's the best, and it just
it's
just like closes out the series so well, and it even just closes out like all of Middle Earth super well from The Hobbit to now. Like, I love it. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, it's just a lot of like, it's just complete like. I mean, yeah, as it should be, as like any good movie should be, and especially trilogies. Like, it closes the arcs of like characters coming to like their full fruition over like. Not just like, because I mean, you can like argue and like make, I mean, true statements that like characters will have just their own arcs in every single like movie.
No
but
way.
Your battery
keep
exhausted.
going. I have another one.
Okay, and then like but even like just their character arcs over like the whole thing, like Aragorn finally coming to terms about wanting to be a king and stuff like that, and like Frodo, I mean, like going through the whole process of taking the ring and stuff like that, and then it's like. Just the like conclusion of the third movie as a whole, and then also like 1, 2, and 3 being like their own, like 1, 2, and 3 together is like a whole movie thing. It's a whole like story plot on its own.
Yeah,
it's like literally everything at the end is finally concluded, and they did it so well
and
so good.
Literally what you said, they closed out all the characters that need to be closed out, but they also left just enough to keep you wondering, like. Like, where are they going? Like, we kind of know where they're going, but, like, what happens?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and what happens with Sam? Like, he now has but, like, it's just enough that it's, like, it closes them with, like, it doesn't close the door. It leaves it cracked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also, it's almost also where it's, like, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter to the
it's
story.
Interesting. No, yeah, it's interesting, but it's, like, us, like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, oh, kind of cool, but it's like, at least we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like it a lot.
All right, so what do you give this movie rating in the end? What did you give the first one? Do you remember?
I want to say like an 88. I think I said
the 88.
Didn't I?
Like a 9. I gave it like a 9.8. The first one.
Nah.
I remember.
Nah.
Which I still stand by.
What? I think I said like an 8.8 or something like that, or 8.9. Maybe I said an 8.9. Maybe I think I said like I'll give you an 8.9 or something like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think second one I said like an 8.7 or something like that.
Yeah, I think I said 8.5 or something.
I think I'd give this one like a 9.2 or a 9.3.
I was gonna say like a 9.4.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. It's really good.
All right, I'll agree with you. 9.4. That's good. 9.4, good stuff. I very much enjoyed my time revisiting Middle Earth. It had been a little bit. I had never watched them all back to back from The Hobbit all the way through. So that was super fun to watch. It was a lot. Yes, it was. But it was a good 6 weeks of stuff. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone here enjoyed it as well. If you had been following along. If you haven't, go back, check out our episodes. Also, definitely go back for yourself and watch the Middle Earth stuff if you haven't for a while, because it is a good time. They've aged very well. I'll have to say that quite well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think next week's episode is going to be on a terrible movie. Honestly, I'm just calling it now. It's going to be a bad movie. It's going to be so bad.
GVL.
Can we all right. Godzilla vs. King Kong, whatever, is coming out tomorrow as of when we're recording this. Isaac, can you just give me a prediction of your score of this movie?
Oh, my score?
I mean, listen, I'm hoping it's good, right? As you obviously you don't want to waste your time watching a movie, but I'm gonna guess that this movie's gonna be a solid 62.
Oh, I was about to say 65. We're right on the I was gonna say max 65.
Yeah.
Or 6.5. Yeah, that they'll get. This is my prediction for the movie. I'll make it now. Kong and the first half isn't gonna matter at all.
Yep.
Right? Literally, nothing at the beginning is going to matter until Kong and what's his name actually fight. Because this movie just looks like, let's build up to this massive CGI fight. It's going to look baller.
Yep.
You know what's going to happen? Kong is going to like start fighting. They're going to get really like bad. Kong's going to like get down, something. I'm sure there's going to be an up for Kong at the beginning, and then he's going to kill the what's his name?
Godzilla.
Godzilla, but he's going to be injured, and Kong's going to die at the end as well.
All right.
And they're going to have this sad scene of Kong dying, and all the humans are like, big monkey. And that's what's going to happen.
Yo, the best thing, I'm going to just say this now, the best thing about this movie, it's not even the movie, it's the memes. Obviously. You know, like literal nuclear power plant, but monkey.
Yeah. Thomas, what team are you for this?
I mean, Team Kong, let's be real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How could you not be?
You better be Team Monk.
All right, really quick though, before, because obviously we haven't watched this movie yet, it's not out. What would make this movie good for you?
I don't know.
I honestly don't know either. Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch the King Kong from like 2010 or like 9? Okay, that one actually not too bad. I'm not even kidding. It wasn't bad. They like arrive. I feel like you did watch it. They like arrive on an island and they have to like go through like this tribe on this island. That is like
Kong Island.
No. It's not Kong Island. It's before this one. I think it was.
I have not watched any of them.
I think it was 2010.
I have not watched any of the King Kong or like
10
Godzilla movies. So
2005.
Yeah. Wait, really Peter Jackson?
Really?
Peter Jackson directed King Kong in 2005.
This was the last one I've seen. Where can
Jack Black.
Was he in it really?
Yeah.
Why do I not know that? Oh, bro. What is up with Peter Jackson and directing 3-hour-long movies?
Oh my goodness. Wait, also, why is Andy Serkis Kong in this movie?
Is he really? Oh my god, he is.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Anyway, this is the last King Kong movie that I saw. It was actually decent. He like fought like T-Rexes, which was kind of rad.
Oh yeah. He did the same thing in Kong Island, to be honest. Yeah,
I never watched it. I never watched it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I think it's gonna kind of be like cool, but it's just gonna be like, I just don't want it to be like a Rock movie where it's just like no story at all, and it's just all the budget went into visual effects, and it's just like, I know that I think they have a decent cast, but even like the script is like, it'll be like such a bad script that it's hard to work with, even with the actors, where it's like they're struggling to get anything out of this. But it's like, I just don't want it to be like, look shiny, blue thing, look really good looking monkey, big lizard that looks.
I mean, listen, if it better look good.
Oh yeah,
because we both know this movie's gonna be so bad, and if the CGI is also bad, then this movie's gonna very quickly be the lowest rated movie that we have discussed on this podcast so far. I mean, right now it is Wonder Woman 84, and it's gonna take some to beat that movie because that movie was the worst thing I've seen in recent history. I think that we didn't talk about the newest Fantastic Four, but if we did, that one would probably be a little bit worse. Honestly, did you ever watch it?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the worst thing. Bad. Honestly, the worst thing I've seen in recent memory. It was so bad. It was an hour and 45 minutes of build-up to nothing. Literally zero.
Batman Superman was worse than that, I think.
I've still never seen it. I've tried 3 times and I've fallen asleep every time.
It was just a longer build-up, like 2 hours to nothing. To then a tiny little fight that meant nothing.
I haven't seen that, so I've tried. I keep falling asleep. But anyway.
It's not worth. It's literally not worth it all.
Really quick. Shoot. I mean, we can discuss this now. What? Yeah, it's kind of a commitment, though. I was going to say, do we watch King Kong or Kong or whatever, and the Snyder Cut?
And the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, it's kind of long.
That thing is literally like 3.5 hours.
It's 4 hours long.
4, like this coming up episode?
Yeah.
Only if we record it later.
Okay, we'll see. Anyway, maybe that's going to happen. But regardless, we will be watching Godzilla vs. King Kong. And we will be talking about how terrible it is. Hopefully it's good. Probably won't be. Honestly, couldn't tell you what it need to happen for it to be a good movie.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. Anyway, Hope you all enjoyed this adventure through Middle Earth. I know we both did. If you did, and if you want to see more, especially this King Kong episode, because how could you possibly miss that one?
Dude,
hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to do that
Yeah.
to see videos and podcasts coming to your sub box every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Get it there, get it hot, get it smoking, and get it
Hopefully.
steaming.
Let me just say, hopefully, because right now it's Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. or 10 p.m.
Yeah,
And I'll be surprised if Thomas can edit
It'll
this
be fine.
and upload it by 7 a.m. tomorrow.
it'll be fine. Anyway, hit that sub button if you haven't yet, and of course hit that like button, of course, if you like
Leave
our
a comment
videos.
on
Leave them
how you
comments
felt about this movie and all the Hobbits.
and what
all
we
the
should
Middle
watch next, past freaking Godzilla. Honestly,
Yeah.
if one person leaves a comment and made it this far through the video and says what
Straight
we should
back.
watch next, we will watch that next. All right.
Straight back.
We have
Straight
been.
back.
This is like a 2-hour one. If someone legitimately gets this far and comments what we should watch, we will watch that next after Godzilla.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
hope you all enjoyed. Without further ado, we have been going way long enough. My name's Thomas. This is Isaac over here. We are brothers on air, and I hope you guys enjoy. We will catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Goodbye.